Well, where should I start? At times, smart technology doesn't necessarily make us worry less. Or walk less. Or change the season.
Change to Channel 7.
Or settle our conflicts. Or solve loneliness. Or replace our loved ones. Smart technology doesn't change you. Only you can make a difference in your life. Xiaomi Smart Life.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Exploration is more than just discovering. It's about expanding. Expanding out to explore new possibilities. Each step providing you with a wider horizon. In 2019, Xiaomi launched a satellite equipped with its latest imaging technology, expanding our imagination for how we view this world. Captured with our 108-megapixel camera, how clear can it be? Every Mi10 user will have the same answer. Our world has never felt so real. In 2020, Xiaomi technology will serve over 100 million users worldwide. We aim to reshape everyone's perception of technology. Let your imagination come alive.
Well, where should I start? At times, smart technology doesn't necessarily make us worry less. Or walk less. Or change the season.
Change to Channel 7.
Or settle our conflicts. Or solve loneliness. Or replace our loved ones. Smart technology doesn't change you. Only you can make a difference in your life. Xiaomi Smart Life.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Exploration is more than just discovering. It's about expanding. Expanding out to explore new possibilities. Each step providing you with a wider horizon. In 2019, Xiaomi launched a satellite equipped with its latest imaging technology, expanding our imagination for how we view this world. Captured with our 108-megapixel camera, how clear can it be? Every Mi10 user will have the same answer. Our world has never felt so real. In 2020, Xiaomi technology will serve over 100 million users worldwide. We aim to reshape everyone's perception of technology. Let your imagination come alive.
Well, where should I start? At times, smart technology doesn't necessarily make us worry less, or walk less, or change the season,
Change to Channel 7.
or settle our conflicts. Or solve loneliness. Or replace our loved ones. Smart technology doesn't change you. Only you can make a difference in your life. Xiaomi Smart Life.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi. Exploration is more than just discovering. It's about expanding. Expanding out to explore new possibilities. Each step providing you with a wider horizon. In 2019, Xiaomi launched a satellite equipped with its latest imaging technology, expanding our imagination for how we view this world. Capture with our 108 megapixel camera. How clear can it be? Every Mi10 user will have the same answer. Our world has never felt so real. In 2020, Xiaomi technology will serve over 100 million users worldwide. We aim to reshape everyone's perception of technology. Let your imagination come alive.
Well, where should I start? At times, smart technology doesn't necessarily make us worry less, or walk less, or change the season,
Change to Channel 7.
or settle our conflicts. Or solve loneliness. Or replace our loved ones. Smart technology doesn't change you. Only you can make a difference in your life. Xiaomi Smart Life.
Xiaomi. Exploration is more than just discovering. It's about expanding. Expanding out to explore new possibilities. Each step providing you with a wider horizon. In 2019, Xiaomi launched a satellite equipped with its latest imaging technology, expanding our imagination for how we view this world. Captured with our 108-megapixel camera, how clear can it be? Every Mi10 user will have the same answer. Our world has never felt so real. In 2020, Xiaomi technology will serve over 100 million users worldwide. We aim to reshape everyone's perception of technology. Let your imagination come alive.
Well, where should I start? At times, smart technology doesn't necessarily make us worry less. Or walk less. Or change the season.
Change to Channel 7.
Or settle our conflicts. Or solve loneliness. or replace our loved ones. Smart technology doesn't change you. Only you can make a difference in your life. Xiaomi Smart Life.
Hello, and a warm welcome to everyone watching the Xiaomi live stream. Joining me today, we have Tor, one of our Mi fans and brand ambassadors as well. How are you, Tor?
I'm fine, thank you, Manny. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you for asking. So it's been quite some time since we last caught up. What have you been up to recently?
Oh, quite a lot of things. I'm working from home, like so many people. And on top of that, I was quite lucky to have the opportunity to test two phones from Xiaomi. And that has taken quite a lot of my time, let's put it this way.
Yeah, it's been busy, very busy time seems like, and you've been doing loads of launches as well, right? From what I can see recently.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Quite a bit, yeah. Brilliant, excellent. So my name's Manny, and I'll be hosting today's live stream event. So I know you've got two amazing smartphones to take us through today. But before we start, I just want to get your opinion on something. So what's more important when choosing a smartphone, Tor? Do you reckon it's the specification, or do you reckon it's the brand? What would you say?
It's a hard question, really, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, unless you have the phones you're comparing, because when you change phone, it's quite a difficult choice because you're going to keep it for quite a while, and it's going to be your personal assistant every day in your pocket. It's going to be the thing you interact with the most outside of human beings. So it's really important to get it right. So unless you actually have the phones in your hands, it's extremely difficult to compare them. So I would pick specs because on paper, you can compare them. You can do like me, a little spreadsheet with all the specs aligned and just tick what will work for you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You see, for me, I think it's brand. I really think it's brand because I think, when people are looking what to buy something, they have to go with what they know and what they've seen, and then to look at the product after that. But I guess what I want to say as well, I want to get everyone involved on this debate. So if you really feel that brand's important, please post your reason why brand is important. If you think spec's important, again, post a reason why you think it's important, and we'll get you involved in the debate as well. So for me, Tor, I think, people tend to stick with what they know. What do you think to that? I think people go with what they've seen. Would you agree?
I get that, but I'm not, despite being technically brand ambassador for Xiaomi, which I love it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not loyal to them. If they were to do something wrong and make a bad phone, I'd review it and I'd say, it's not a good phone. They wouldn't be happy, obviously, but the point is, I want to make sure that people buy the phone for them. And I think specs for that are really important because people can really get behind specs. If you get into the brand, I understand, I give a first refusal to Xiaomi, in as much as I see a phone and I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. I will still look at the specs, but I'm more likely to just say, I'll pick it up, I'll try it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'm likely to get there.
Okay,
It's quite difficult because what do you get out of a brand? The brand needs to really listen to the fans. It needs to really know what they want, what worked the last time and what doesn't and what didn't. Xiaomi so far is doing it really well, but the specs are important. You don't want to have people like with some other brands buy whatever is there because it has got the logo. I think that's completely opposite to what Xiaomi stands for.
I do hear what you're saying. So what do you use in the phone then when you buy a product? You say specs is really, really key and it's really important, which I do agree in some respect. But I guess, what do you personally use to make you say what you say?
Some things I can compromise on, but some things I really need.
Yeah.
Like the camera. Let's say the camera. I will not use the camera, through the day. It's just a case of I tend to walk and see something interesting, and I want to take that shot. I'm not a good photographer. I'm really not.
You're
But
not. Yeah.
I have a decent eye, but I have no technical knowledge. So I think it's a case of I want the phone to do the job for me. If the camera is good, if the software behind it is good, and that's specifications and coding, to an extent the brand as well, because you can trust them on this, it will work for me. I hate wasting that opportunity. Same thing with the processor. I keep juggling between devices, between my laptop, between my phone, between tablet. I want the things I do now to happen now. So I want a processor that is fast, it's snappy, it doesn't make you wait, and the software as well. I don't want interruptions. I want it to work for me. And that's quite difficult to find if you're just relying on brand.
I do see your point. I guess for me, really, I think people want to buy things that are the same, that buy the whole ecosystem. I mean, how many times people like buy products that actually I've got to buy this to match with that, to match with that. I think that's quite important. I mean, for example, for Xiaomi, for example, you can buy a Mi 360 camera, buy a Mi laptop, buy a Mi electric scooter. You want everything matching. That's a big part. And I think also if people have one of our phones and they're using it in an environment with other people there, they're actually quite proud to use our products. And it's part of a social circle. It's almost like a way of expressing, say, that's a really cool brand. I want to be associated with them. It's a way of them just getting recognition and acknowledgement by them being really cool, by having our products and devices. So I think that's image comes into it, I feel, as well.
I'm falling into that as well. At the moment, I'm looking for a new gaming laptop, and I'm actually looking first at the Xiaomi, something I can take on the road, and I know it's solid. Because 30 seconds before the thing live, I dropped my phone, and I thought that's going to be very 2020, it's going to be broken. No, not a scratch, because we built them properly. Same thing for a laptop. I want that. Is it because of the brand? I think it's because once again, I associate them with decent kit, and then I go to the specs. Is it decent kit that is going to work for me? If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, I have to admit that logo is quite interesting on a product. I get that thrill opening a Xiaomi box.
Yeah, but would you not have to look at the logo first to know what you are buying, if that makes sense? You have to heard something about what you're going to buy.
Yes, there is. What I really love in the Xiaomi ecosystem is the fact that the Mi UI is the same all over. And it makes it easy for reviews because you can just install everything from one phone to another. You know it's going to work the same. So you can see the differences between the phone because it's the same. You're not changing the apps. It's just the same. They run differently because of the phone. That's really cool. I would love to be able to not have the logo at all and choose the product on that, and remove the little post-it on the logo and say, oh, that's a Xiaomi. Awesome. I was right. But yes, you do get the thrill. I have recommended the phones to a lot of people around me, and simply because I like being the guy who knows it's going to work for you. That's one of the good things about we have quite a lot of models, but that's brilliant because everyone can find the perfect model for them.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, still sticking with my brand side is I think people are happy to switch to other brands as well. And I think the reasons people do tend to switch is because maybe they want a new experience. So say, for example, I know some devices may have a lot of bloatware on, where some people don't like that, do they? Some people tend to want the simplicity, which actually easier to actually promote. That's actually quite important. I think it's really important.
Sorry, Manny, I'm going to interrupt you. We've got a message saying people would like to see our faces. I didn't realize it was just the Mi logo. Sorry, people.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Can you see my face? Is that better?
I cannot. I only see the slide with the Mi10T Lite. And I see your face because I am in the stream, but people are not.
There you go. You can see my face now, right?
Sorry, people, it's technology. I still have the slide. Sorry about that. My apologies, viewers. You know how it is. You prepare everything absolutely perfectly, and then when you start, it goes wrong.
So you can't see my face, right? You can't see my face?
I can. I don't know. No. Stop sharing the screen.
Oh.
Once again. Here we go. That's you. So hello, people.
How about now? How about now?
Sharing the screen again. Okay, let's go into the presentation. And
you can see me now, right? You can see me now. Just making sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, fantastic. That's great. That's great. Finally, you can see us, which is really good news. Thank you for bearing with us on that one. So, yeah, just literally going through what's important brand or specification battle, so to speak, as well. I think some people as well, Tor, tend to, I don't know, buy what's right for them, right? I think that's quite important. Would you agree with that?
I have to break again. Apparently, it stopped sharing. It went back to the slide and stopped showing our face.
Okay.
Apologies, people. Same thing with the videos. We're going to show you. It's going to be a case of it is super smooth for us, but
how's
not
that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Tell me that's working now. Tell me that's working now. No.
See, that's one of the things about Xiaomi I really love is the fact that their product, they work out of the box.
There you go. See if it's going to work.
If we had written it like that, people would not have believed.
That's what I can see. My end. You can't still see me, Tor. You can see me, but they can't.
I can see the slide. I can see you in the corner because that's me there.
Me too. Me too. That's interesting. I guess we'll have to carry on. I guess there's no.
I'm going to laugh at the end when I watch it again, and all the comments are going to be, "We can't see you, people. You are you real?
We can't see you." Okay, I guess we'll move on and stuff, and we'll sort it out as we go along, if that's okay with everyone. So yeah, tell us a bit more about the Mi10T Lite. Tell us about your kind of experience in using it. I'm really intrigued to know about this.
Okay, so to give you a picture, I had the 10T Pro first sent to me for a review. So I reviewed that. I had that for about 2 weeks now. And then 2-3 days ago, I got the 10T Lite. It's not the best of times to do a proper review, so I've played with it quite a bit. And so far, it's actually astonishing me. And I'm not saying that because, you know, I'm some sort of brand ambassador. I'm just saying I can find a few flaws, but they are minute. And I'm starting to think people are not going to believe me all of a sudden. I have no idea how they do it at that price. It's absolutely insane. It's fast, and I mean really fast. 5G for everyone is actually a claim that works because all the bands are there. And 5G is not everywhere yet in London, but I kept it really, really well. The camera is beautiful. The display, I have bad eyes. I have really bad eyes, and I use the screen every day through the day. And I've realized that I stopped having headaches because the screen is so smooth. That's really, really good. It's more like reading a book more than anything else.
Yeah. Okay. So we actually have a call just about to come through, I believe.
Okay.
We have a call coming through. I just want to check that for you. We'll check, so get them to check the call coming through and the reason how come they're calling. We'll double check that. Okay. So that's coming through in a minute. We'll pick that up in a minute.
The share screen again. Yes.
It's yeah. I'm sharing everything I can see on my screen currently. So now I do see your point, too. Absolutely, I see your point on that. And I guess the three kind of key points we're going to cover include the camera, the display processor, amongst other things as well. Okay, so this bit here just goes on to show you a snapshot of the kind of key messages the Mi10T Lite 5G offers. And you can see it's ticking every single box possible, right? You want a 5G device, you've definitely got that. A bigger display, and I think display is important to you too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like I live with a phone in my left hand, and you know, even when I'm on the laptop, I always check. I have my phone just right there. I always check it, and it's my companion more than anything else. If I don't have a large screen that is really clear, I'm going to get lost.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes a big difference to people doing a lot more on the devices, right? We should touch on just a short while. So also chipsets, you've got a very powerful and efficient chipset to support lots of use on there. And you've got a beast of a camera, 64 megapixel quad camera setup as well, which again is important to a lot of people in the market about sharing their experiences in some way. And the battery as well. And I think you found battery very, very useful, didn't you?
It's really hard at the moment to test the battery properly because I'm not really out all day. So I force myself, I used to have battery flex because I started a long time ago with smartphones, and every time I go to my desk, I charge it. And then I force myself not to have a reflex because the battery is not moving. It's pretty much, you take it from the charger and it stays on 100 for a long, long time. You go back to your charger, it's 94%. How? That's really good.
No, I see your point, absolutely. And I guess alongside that, it's pretty fast charging technology, right? 33 watt, which you touch on a little bit later in terms of speed and what that offers the user as well. And RAM. And do you think RAM's important?
It is. You can go into more is better, but I think 6 GB is really the right. I used to code for Android, and it's pretty much the best compromise when it comes to RAM. It's fast as anything, and it really supports all the processor, all the chipsets.
Yeah, absolutely. It plays a big part in the performance, right?
Yeah.
And above all, do you know what? It goes back to Xiaomi's brand mission: is innovation for everyone. Redefining value as an entry-level 5G phone. To me, it's smart consumer choice. It's a logical one to go for.
It's a phone that is future-proof. The chipset makes it fast, and it will be fast for the years to come. No matter how much the market evolves, it will be fast. The 5G, as I said, it's got all the bands possible. It's not going to be a problem, even if your provider changes the bands. No problem, you're covered. You're covered as well because there's an SD card tray in it, and so you can increase the storage if you have more media and the like. You are covered for everything, and that's really, really good. And that price, where else do you get that?
Exactly. It's like half the price of the competition, but you're getting a lot more.
Or third. Or third.
What's going on?
Not naming names.
Exactly. We don't name names. We don't do that at all. So the first part, I guess, to more detail, I guess, is a screen. I mentioned, I don't know if you're aware, but averagely people spend around 4.5 hours using screens. And it's actually quite an important point here when it says it's got 120 hertz adaptive sync display. Okay. Now, as you probably know, it recognizes what content's being displayed and adjust accordingly. So it actually saves power rather than just being on a certain frequency. It's much better, right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. You see, we're going back to the specs thing, but I have seen other pieces of tech that had a really high refresh rate, but they didn't work well because the software behind it was not good. It was jerky when it skipped from one type of content to the other. It ate the battery massively, and there was nothing. That one, the Lite, actually adapts itself to the content. So it only uses as much battery as it needs, and it's so relaxing. You see the action as it goes. It's not trying to catch up, to calculate how it should display. It's just intuitive, and it just does the job.
And that's it. It's about simplicity. It's doing it automatically, which is it's really good, isn't it? It's really good. I can set that, and
absolutely. I'm going back.
Really good.
I'm going back to it being like paper because your eyes are not straining because it's a very natural experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that, Nigel. I like the way you say that. It's a good point. So also you've got the 360 ambient light sensor as well. You mentioned you take photographs, right? And you can obviously see the screen once you're taking the photograph and adjust accordingly. I think it's a very important point, right? And again, add to that kind of experience, so to speak.
Absolutely. You take 20 photographs, but you can't see your screen, and you have to choose them at the end. That one, don't get me wrong, I didn't have really sunny stuff. I'm in London, October, but nonetheless, when you change from one room to the other, or even outside, you see your screen, no matter what. You don't have to angle it. It knows, it adapts. Even parts of the screen adapts. If there's some light on it, it's magic. And I don't use the word often.
It's very clever, isn't it? Very clever how that kind of works. And again,
it's the little details that really make it. The things the fans ask for, that sort of stuff, and they give it to them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about Mi community, right? As you probably know about that really well. So good. So also screen's been certified for TUV Ryland as well.
Yeah.
We mentioned about people using screens a lot more, so we thought about the safety aspects as well. So yes, it reduces flicker, reflection, and filters out blue light as well. So again, ticking every single box.
Very much so.
So we'll go to the next bit. It just talked about the adaptive sync display and the static refresh rate as well. I want to share a video with you, Tor, and see what you think of this video. All right. So what you see here, Tor, is a big difference, isn't it, from static refresh rate to adaptive sync as well. Yeah, you can see from the static refresh rate on the right-hand side, it's trying to catch up almost. Yeah, whereas on the left is very, very smooth. You notice that, right? I think yes, when you've been using the product.
Well, I'm not actually noticing that, I'm afraid, but that's the thing. Apparently, Xiaomi technology is better than the technology we're using to broadcast to people. Sorry about that, viewers. It's quite jerky, I'm afraid, the video.
Okay, no problem at all. We'll move to...
I have seen the video on, directly, and I can tell you there's a massive difference.
Yeah, absolutely. In person, in real life, you see that in a big way. Cool. Okay, we'll move on to the next bit. So, talk about adaptive sync display and the kind of key benefits. These are different types of scenarios you can use it, right? So when you're watching movies, recording videos as well, which people are doing these days quite a lot of, and generally using the device as well when you're scrolling through web pages and going from screen to screen, right? I mean, you've used this quite a lot. So, do you agree with that?
Oh, very much so. And it's funny as well. There's one of the things I've found. I'm not a mobile phone gamer, and I never was. I tend to, every time I tested a phone, I load a few games as a benchmark to see how they run. But I've found, I'm not really a good gamer because my hands do not work well. I found that the display, because it reacts so well to the input and it's refreshed so often, it actually makes you a better gamer because it's more intuitive. It's like there's no interface. You're directly plugged into the phone instead of going through a screen. And all of a sudden, I'm gaming more. I'm playing way more, and I've discovered that because of the hardware.
Brilliant. That's good. That's a good point. I think maybe you can practice a little bit more, all right, on the gaming side as well, definitely.
And get better. Yeah.
And get better, yeah. So cool. So think more about the camera. What are the 5 things you can kind of do with it? Number 1 is shooting the ultra clear image. I think it's very important. Think how many times people take an image, take maybe a series of images to get the right photo, and half the time people probably don't delete them. So I'll deal with it kind of later. So you can shoot ultra clear shots, which again is important to a lot of people in the market. And also you can get very, very close as well by using the micro mode on our product. And you can shoot ultra wide angle shots. We can show you some examples of this very, very shortly. In fact, you've tried the camera quite a lot. I don't suppose you tried the wide angle.
Absolutely. It's one of the first things I check. I love taking photos of buildings and the like, and there are people around, there are cars and things like that, so you need to have the right angle, and generally it cuts the building. So you lose that presence of the building. But with ultra-wide, you get it all. You get actually what you want to shoot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important, isn't it? Very important. We've got some examples of that in a very short while. So you can shoot beautiful images, and also you can shoot when there's not very much light about in low light scenarios as well, because it's got great aperture. So the camera, in a nutshell, 64 megapixel primary lens. That's huge, obviously. And you've got, again, a large image sensor that collects a lot more light. And again, you're taking some night shots as well. So.
Yeah, quite a few. I really, really want to play with it more. I really want to go on a stroll, get lost in London, and just allow the camera to really make me look good, basically, on my Instagram. But yes, what I really love about it is the fact that the hardware is really, really good. We're going back to the specs. But the software is insane. We talk about the filters and all the processing that goes on in the background. The AI, it's seamless. When you see all of those 4 things, you think, oh, maybe I'll have to choose my objective and then make it do what I want. No, the phone can do it for you. And that's really important for me.
And that goes back to ease of use, doesn't it, Tor? Really, it just makes things so much easier to capture the perfect image. Yes. And the software doing the work, as you mentioned, plays a big part. So the ultra wide angle is 8 megapixels as well. We'll show you some examples of this in a short while. But also you've got the macro lens on here as well. So you can capture things very, very close up and still retain the detail and quality that you need. And not forget the 2 megapixel depth lens as well that makes photos look absolutely professional. Now, we'll go to the next one, which actually showcases an image here using the 64 megapixel lens. Now, a couple of things to point out. Number one, the detail. Number two, the colors. Okay, very natural, very, very vibrant as well. And number three, people tend to take pictures on their smartphone and maybe they want to print them off and share them with friends and family. You can do that because you've got a higher primary lens as well. And so I believe the next slide coming up here is pictures that you've taken, right?
These are mine, absolutely.
There you go.
As I said, well, you can see they're pretty much all on ultra wide because you want to catch. I mean, the one with the church and that weird tent kind of building, you could get one or the other, but having the whole thing and making the shot wide like that is really important. And you know, you do that with something that is in your pocket. That is absolutely insane.
It's really good, isn't it? And you know, if I was to vote my sort of first, second, third position, number one would be the picture at the top there. I love that. The details again, really, really cool. In fact, where were you when you took these images? Whereabouts?
That was the buildings are in central London. The aqueduct, well, it's a train thing. It's in a little park not far from my place in North London. I really love getting lost in a city and just shooting things that are there. And you know, no one actually notices the buildings anymore because I've been living here on and off for 20 years. And you just go to where you're going and you forget about the rest. It's just about the journey. But you just, all of a sudden, you have a phone that can give you that kind of images and you start noticing your environment again. And that's really important for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that one, 100%. And the second image for me too, I like the one you took at the bottom there, the viaduct. That's amazing. I love the colors on that as well. And the picture to the third there on the left-hand side, really great in terms of the sky as well. Timing-wise, it's fantastic.
Actually, the sky is not real. That's the phone. You have a filter where you can just change the background, and it's in the gallery. It's not a complex thing at all. It's instant, and you have all of those options. Some static, some actually turn it into a video. That's something you would not expect that on a phone at all. You'd expect that running on a desktop. Once again, I have no idea how they do it. It's magic.
We'll talk about filters in a short while, right? Yeah. That's quite important as well. Brilliant. Okay, so next picture shows you here. This is the micro mode. And you can see how much kind of detail it kind of captures from the top of the flower there to the bottom where the stem is as well. And again, you can go as close as 2 centimeters away. That's insane, right? That's mega, mega close. And sometimes when you get this close, actually it gets kind of pixelated and blurred, but ours doesn't. And this is actually a very, very important point to a lot of people. So the next one is a ultra wide angle, right? So, you know, look at this way. You can capture everything in just one shot, which is amazing. And some people that may not have that may have panorama, which takes a long time to kind of do, or maybe they have to.
And distorts everything as well. So you lose the impact.
You're right. It's not easy to match up with panorama, but it's nice just taking one shot. Would you agree with that, Tor? You've taken your shots before, right?
Absolutely. That is the kind of shot that if you had a normal width, you'd see the road and a little bit of the sky, but it's not. You feel like you are in the shot on that one.
Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing scenery. Great shot there. So it's 120 degrees, as you can see here as well, and it's got distortion correction automatically working in the background for you to correct the image. As you can see, it's amazing detail. Cool. And night mode, you know, some handsets kind of struggle in low light scenarios, whereas ours doesn't. Okay. Now the photo I really like building up to it is this one here. Now you can see a couple of things here. Number one, the different lighting effects. If you look at the main kind of stand there, you can see the different colors going up there, green to red and so on. And even underneath the bridge as well, you can see the natural reflection of the blue light. It's a great shot, right, Tor?
It is. I'm just thinking, you know, normally you take that with a mobile phone and it would go nuts. It would just focus on the blue thing and completely blur the rest. That is a really beautiful photo.
It's beautiful, isn't it? And look at this way. Sometimes you're taking pictures and people in the shot and you use the flash. You get red eye, don't you? But with this, you just go to night mode and it captures all this information. So again, really, really good. Okay, it goes into portrait mode. Have you tried portrait mode at all?
I have, but I'm not a big fan of selfies, so I tend to cringe a little bit. but it makes me look actually like me, and that's a really rare thing. A lot of cameras just don't work, but that's stunning. Yeah, look at that bokeh in the background.
It's beautiful, isn't it? So I heard you do like selfies. I'm sure you've heard somewhere that you do take
I
lots
have
of
one too, for Facebook and the like, but
selfies. Secret
I'm
comes out
not
now.
going to change it every 2 days. No.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right, what you just said a minute ago. If you look at the background, you've got that soft bokeh effect, as you can see. And, some handsets in the past have had the fact where you've got the subject here, and the focus here is right next to the subject. So you don't really get the sense of the person actually in that photo. This is a natural bokeh effect, that professional looking photo that I mentioned earlier on. I want to draw everyone's attention as well.
The hair or things like that, because you recognize the face. That's actually, that's a pro level shot.
It's really good, isn't it? Really, really good. And you're right. And also, if you look at the background color, we'll touch on that in just a very short while. I want to highlight that here because it makes a big difference when we get to the next few slides. Okay, and the filters. This is all about you, right? You've got different filters you can actually have on there. You mentioned briefly, but what's some of your favorites on there, Tom?
I really like the, I think they call it black ice. And well, it's pretty much like, I think that is the one they use. It reinforces the grays and then pushes the colors in the blue tones. And you get that sort of effect. I had one about the Tower of London, and you had the old building itself that was all gray and gloomy with the sky above, and then the city in the background, and it was all blues and silvers, and loved it.
It's amazing, isn't it? Absolutely right.
Once again, it makes me look good. I have no idea what I'm doing, but
but really effective, isn't it? It looks like a long exposure shot here, but it's absolutely amazing what it kind of creates as well. The next one coming up, this is fantastic. This one you can see again, the colors vibrant in the background, the details still retained, even there's not much light about. And this one's called Gold Vibes. Right, quite interesting. I like the names as well. It's actually really cool. Yes. It shows you it's ideal to take pictures like urban streets with lights as well. Get that kind of feel of the place, so to speak, which is really, really impressive. And this one here, this is very impressive. If you like lots of color, you definitely get it in this shot here. So it's comparing the image from the left to the right, yeah? It's a big difference, right, Tom?
It's massive. And as well, I know that's the cyberpunk one because I'm a big fan of cyberpunk. And when I saw that, when it was revealed a while ago at the launch, I just thought, yes, please. That is absolutely. And it's a very 2020 kind of thing. It's beautiful, yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? And you're right, it's called Cyberpunk. I should do a quiz for you, shouldn't I? Right, really? But there you go. It's got the neon effect lights as well. Very, very vibrant, as you can see here. Very kind of natural colors coming through as well, but very effective as well, which is really nice. It saves you kind of downloading apps to add colors and so on. It's already built in. So it's really amazing. Okay, so earlier on I said to you, keep an eye on the background, right? You see it's changed on this shot here. So now this is actually a cool feature called color focus, where it has the subject at the front in color, but the background in black and white. So for the person taking the picture, you can see what the focus is of that shot. Yeah, so really impressive again. Okay, and the front-facing camera. So I guess you've used this a few times, as we mentioned about the selfies and stuff earlier on. So 16 megapixel, amazing. But you've got different modes on here as well, right? You've got the night mode selfie, you've got the slow motion video, but also you've got the time-lapse selfie on here. Okay, have you tried the time-lapse selfie at all?
I have. I used to have a video blog years and years ago, and it was an absolute nightmare to make these things. Editing took a whole day just to cut the frames right. Even with big software. Now you just press a button and it does it for you.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's really amazing stuff as well.
It's going to save a lot of people a lot of time, and it's going to allow them to be creative. All those effects they saw on YouTube, and if they want to recreate, they can.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to share the video, but I'm not sure if you guys will see it via the stream initially, because you didn't see the first one. That's the issue there, but we'll see. But anyway, you've also got dual video mode on here. So what dual video mode allows you to do is simply record yourself and what you're recording at using the front and rear cameras. So Tom, I'm sure you've been in a situation where maybe you want to be involved in what's kind of going on, but there's no one to record you. You're just recording the action, right?
At the moment, I'm living, as I said, I'm working from home, and my cat is entertaining me quite a lot. He's a young lad, let's put it this way, and it's really, really cool because you can film what he's doing, and you can film my reaction as well. I'm laughing my head off, and it's absolutely really interesting because you know when you film a video and you're laughing in the background, it doesn't look real. It looks weird. But when you see both, it's really good. I can imagine
Yeah.
as kids, and that's actually a good example. You're filming your kid and you're in the scene. You're creating memories.
Absolutely. It's amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing. So do you reckon we should try and share the video? Should we try it on this one?
Right.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's try and see if it works like the live stream on this one. Here we go.
It is a little bit jerky, I'm afraid. Love that. You see, what I was saying about creativity, it allows people to really pop out with ideas. Ideas they would normally discard because they say, well, I've got the idea, but I don't have a technical ability to do it.
Yeah.
And they learn from it because they become better, they make the video, and it allows them to learn better again. It's fantastic.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's really amazing. Just being creative, like you said, it really is. Good. Okay, and the high refresh rate as well. So there's kind of key benefits from this. I'm going to play this video, and hopefully you guys will see this as well.
I think we have to stop with the videos. They're really jerky.
Okay, we'll stop the video. Okay, we'll move on from that then.
Sorry once again.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't going to the video on that one. We'll move on from that then. We'll talk about the processor as well. So you've got the Snapdragon 750G, a very powerful processor. Now, the chipset itself is 8 nanometers, so small, but also produces less heat, okay? And speed, very, very quick, 2.2 gigahertz, right? And that's important for you as well. You mentioned play games, so it's very key.
I multitask a lot, and I jump from one app to another, and on a lot of phones, you do get the lag, you do get the whole thing not refreshing in the background. It's not the end of the world, but it's annoying. And 2020 has been hard enough not to be annoyed by your phone. Once again, it's your main assistant. So yeah, the 750 is actually really, really fast. And I can't actually see much. It's at the level where you think it's a flagship.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And for gaming aspects, really good, isn't it? It's got HDR gaming on here. So you see natural, vibrant colors, right? Really
and the refresh rate on top of that, it works together, and it's like having a console in your hand. It's scary.
It's amazing, isn't it? Really amazing. So the key message here, as you probably know, is all about detail it captures. Very, very important. The natural colors as well. And also being a 5G product, people that are gaming on the go, it ticks that box neatly. And you've got various AI support as well, from CPU up to 20%, GPU 10%, and AI up to 20%. These are improvements from the last chipset, so to speak. So,
and the last chipset wasn't slow to start with. So yeah, it's it's good. Technology is really going to an interesting place.
It is, isn't it? Really in a big way.
And
so,
that's another example of that.
So yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Joel. So also you've got the cloud gaming platforms. There's many out there, as you guys are probably aware. There's just a small sample of them. And there's actually quite a lot of benefits by using the gaming platforms. So you don't have to store any of the games on your phone to take up storage. You can simply just stream the game as and when you need it. And you can actually stream to other devices as well. I think it's really good. Mention your game. This is actually fantastic if you are playing games to enjoy the full experience of the detail, the graphics that are being displayed on your phone as well. Would you agree with that, Tor?
Absolutely, and you are not limited. Most of the gaming on mobiles are limited because of the platform. The fact that you are playing full-on games on your mobile, you have that continuity. You start playing on the console, and you have to go to work, and then you have your lunch break, and you've got not much to do. Here you go, you carry on your game, and you can play with your friends as well, because that's way easier than from your phone. It's a complete change in the idea of gaming, mobile gaming.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And part of the mobile gaming, you can have the subscriptions, haven't you, as well? So as you probably aware, there's monthly charges as well, and there's key kind of benefits between each of these gaming subscriptions as well, which include in-app purchase promotions, but also great online storage for these high-intensive games as well. So very, very important.
Absolutely. And as well, on a lot of the platforms, you have demonstrations of the game. So you can play. It's something I remember from my days as a young kid. You had demonstrations. Now you have to trust the game to be good and buy it. and
Yeah.
then a lot of the time you go, it's not for me, and you're out 50, 60 quids. That allows you to actually get into the game.
Totally agree, 100 million % on that. And you know, to support all this heavy use on there, you've got a beast of a battery, 4,820 milliamp as well. And you've got the middle tab as well. So it charges 2 cells at the same time. It's a lot quicker, 33 watts. So you notice that as well, charging it, right? The speed of it is just insane.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's, you plug it, normally you plug it and then it's slowed down at the end, and you know, you don't have that flat curve at all. It's fast, it's the same all over the place. As I said, I don't even bother charging it anymore outside of, even most nights I don't bother. It's quite scary.
That's good. It's good, isn't it? At least it's better.
I used to go to 20% very, very fast normally. No, not so much.
This is it. You think about the past, and you know, in previous handsets people may have had, etc. You know, people were watching how they're using it, right? Maybe turn the brightness down, etc. Going to power saving mode.
Because I will not make it through the day. It's horrid. What? Yeah. Why do you have a phone then? That one, no, you can do whatever you want with it. You'll be fine.
It's nice to use it as you want to use it. It's definitely really good. Brilliant. So, and you're glad to know as well, Tor actually charges no time at all, 59 minutes as well, which is obviously lightning quick, right? That's down to the middle tab technology that's doing this, which is, again, really good. Cool. Now, you like this, don't you? The side fingerprint sensor.
I love
it. Kind of positioning.
I love it. It's perfect for me. I tend to use my phone with my left hand and type with my right, which means I don't have to learn where the fingerprint is because my finger naturally goes there. And it's the fastest I've ever seen. And I've played with a lot of phones. That's instant. There's no delay whatsoever. You're in. You don't have to think about it. Once again, it's one of the little annoyances that's removed from you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right when you say it's kind of ergonomic design. It naturally fits. You pick the phone up and it's your hands automatically there, right? It makes sense. And it's accurate, again, very, very super quick. So absolutely. So here's a kind of quick snapshot of some of the things we kind of talked about today, from the big display and then the benefits as well. And the cameras, and the primary sensor being 64 megapixel, and the other ones alongside that have something different and unique about them. The powerful processor, the big RAM, and also the decent storage on board as well, amongst others.
It's funny. I see specs, and I'm expecting an enormous price because, you know, you compare it to the rest, and it's bonkers the price they have. But that's what you expect now.
Absolutely.
What you're going to reveal, and
that's the link. That's the link I'm waiting for. There you go. So the link is here. So I just want to let everyone know at the moment that the Mi10T Lite 64GB is on a special promotion at the moment. As you can see, there's an early bird price for $199, and also you can earn double Mi points as well. So up to £30 worth of vouchers. And you've got some of the places you can actually get it from as well, from the 26th of October for 24 hours. So please, please, please go and check out this deal. Take full advantage of it.
It's the bargain of the century, really.
It is, isn't it?
I'm not saying that just because of the ambassador thing. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. For all those features, for a 5G smartphone. This is amazing. Absolute deal of the century, as you say.
And 30 quid back to boot. And there's
exactly.
coming in December, apparently. So
exactly. Just throwing out there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, Tor, as well, I know you've got the bigger brother with you as well, right? The Mi10T Pro 5G. So how's your experience been with that one?
It's really good. Basically, everything we've said about the Lite, except a little bit further. It's good. It's basically the best phone I've used so far, simply because it's just right for me. If I had to write a spec sheet for my phone, I would have written that one. So
yeah,
well done. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous phone. The only thing is, I can't use it that much because I don't have a case on it, and you know, I drop them.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move on to the next bit. Really, this shows you where the Mi10T Pro sits alongside the other flagship competitor products, right? So you can see, again, we're ticking every single box from display, but this time's a high adaptive sync display. As you can see, 144 hertz. The newer processor, 865 as well, and a higher megapixel lens in terms of the primary sensor as well. But also battery, 5,000 milliamp.
Hmm.
Yeah, really
No,
decent. Like you've liked battery before, right?
I have, yeah, I have. It's,
Yeah,
well, once
really.
again, you don't bother checking the battery level. I have to interrupt you though. Headquarters is saying we talk too much. So
Okay.
I'm going to, we have two questions from me fans to answer. So the first one was from Neo. Hello, mate. Um, I have a lot of friends on the community. Let's put it this way. Does the plastic chassis makes a difference? Actually, I didn't know that it was a plastic chassis on the lights. I assumed it was aluminium. I was writing the review, and you have to check all the facts. And I typed aluminium and said, "Oh, I have to check that just in case." And it's plastic. So does it make a difference? Maybe the engineers could say yes. I don't know. In day-to-day use, not at all. It's rigid. I put it in my pocket, and I have no problem whatsoever. There's no creak. There's no. No, it doesn't. And then I think that's going to be a question for you, Manny. Um,
Yeah.
from Sud, hello mate. What
Hello.
are the main differences between the devices in the Mi10T range? Because that can confuse people. Which is which? There are three fantastic phones in the range.
Yeah.
What do I go for? Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. Thank you for answering that question, first of
that's
all.
right.
Really good. So there's quite a few differences between them. I mean, number one, you can see it's actually the adaptive sync display does actually vary from 120 hertz up to 144 hertz as well. So that's the kind of one of the key differences there. The second one is actually the chipset itself.
Yeah.
So obviously the little brother, you're looking at the 750G.
Mm.
On the big brothers, you're looking at the 865 chipset. Then the cameras come into it as well, from little brothers to the big brothers, being 64 for the primary compared to 108, so to speak. And then last but not least is the battery as well, 4820 compared to 5,000 milliamp on the bigger brothers. So that's kind of four key things that really kind of jump out and make it different.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's a short version as well. So,
Oh,
which is good.
well, as I was told, we talk too much. We could talk about that for hours, but
We
sadly.
could. Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess we'll wrap up time now, I believe, Tor, is that right?
Getting close. I was reminded a few minutes ago that we only had 15 minutes, and that was quite a while ago. So.
Okay. So I guess what we'll do then, we'll kind of wrap up then and go to the end bit as well.
Oh yeah.
Should we do this bit, the last bit? Because this is actually quite important point, right? This is a very, very important point. Yeah. So I don't know if you know at all, actually, that phones have 10 times more bacteria than a toilet seat. Do you know about this?
And that makes me, yeah, I did, and that makes me go, I don't want to touch my phone.
Be careful you put your phone, right?
Very
So to
so.
speak. Brilliant. So actually, just to kind of finish off on this as well, then we've actually got some antibacterial accessories that come in the box with AG plus material, which makes it safe and clean and destroys bacteria as well. Okay, and it's been tested by TUV Stud, just so you're aware. You can see here too the kind of differences between them, right? You can see here the antibacterial case that we provide compared to the other one, which is a typical phone case. There's a massive difference between them. Notice that, right?
It's making me cringe now. I'm just going to wear gloves for my other phones.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the little things that shows that Xiaomi thought about the users instead of just saying, "Oh, here are all the specs. You can buy my phone." It's actually the little things that make it important, make it interesting.
Absolutely. And this is what the case looks like, just so you're aware, Tor, as well. So obviously protects the phone and it kills 99.9% of bacteria. That's just a big figure, isn't it? A really big figure as well. So I think that kind of brings us pretty much near to the close as well, really, of everything, so I say, Tor. So what have you kind of liked, what you've seen so far, Tor?
Very much so. It's end of the day, I do it because it's fun, and I wouldn't if I had to go through something painful every time. I love discovering things, and yeah, the 10T family is brilliant for that. I keep discovering new features every day, and I've been a Mi fan for quite a while, so I should know these things, but they are there. There are multiple layers. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic. I say thank you ever so much for joining us, Tor. Thank you for everyone watching the live stream event as well. Really, really appreciate your time. And I guess we'll see you all very, very soon.
I hope so.
Yeah, brilliant.
Take care, Manny.
Okay, take care. Thank you so much. Bye everyone.